stand up straight, no debate. Pushed by hate, concentrate, penetrate, generate, motivate. Live by faith, keep believing. I know the reason, it's the season. Now's the time. Keep on dreaming, keep on leading, and keep on fighting.
I am fighting for the liberation of voices with something to say, like many before me. For glory, you'll have to stand in harm's way. I'm no savior, just a soldier with an order. So I have no choice but to trust the gun, 'cause it must be done. And my only fear is what might happen if I didn't fight to win. If I lose, then it was worth dying for. If I win, I only live to fight again. If I lose, then it was worth dying for. If I win, I only live to fight again. Who are we? We are. Can't turn back. I can't. I'll be there. Fight. You should be proud for the courage to think out loud. You'll find your way if you're foolish enough to be faithful. Believe me, it won't be easy, but it's surely not impossible. And if they won't listen, save your breath and save yourself. Yeah. And as soon as you see sunlight again, get up and fight to win. If we lose, then it was worth dying for. Yeah. If we win, we only live to fight again. Yeah. If we lose, then it is worth dying for. If we win, we only live to fight again. Your presence felt. To your last breath. For your spirit, for your mind. For your soul. Never lose sight. Keep up the when all fails and you done tried everything in life. Keep your head up. Keep your head up.
What's up, Dirty Bird Nation? Live from the ATL, Colin and Seth here. Huge game this weekend.
I gotta talk about that opener you made. Oh, that's sick. It's awesome. I only saw it like before the video started.
Yeah, I made that a week ago, and I came across Super Cam Scammers video. He has the same. He has the same song. I couldn't believe it. So he's gonna get the credit for putting it up first, but who gives a crap?
Alright, let's go into this thing.
Now I've watched all the guys' videos. You know, last week we came in with our video early, like Tuesday or Wednesday in the week. Here it is Friday, 2 days to the game, and I just really wanted to sit back and check out what everybody had to say. And first off, we don't have any hate with 49ers fans, you know.
I'm sure they don't. I mean,
they are all real true fans. They don't have any trolls. You know, every team has a few.
It's not like last week.
Nothing like
last week was crazy.
The sea chickens or whatever you want to call them.
Sea chickens?
Yeah, the sea
chickens. Is that picture in the seacocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, all these, you know, I have respect for all the 49ers fans, but saw a few stupid things, of course.
Every team's gonna hate.
Yeah, every team. We've had a good hate week with them. One thing I saw though was one guy said, I don't really know any of the guys' names, but one guy said us having the home field advantage at the Georgia Dome is going to be bad for us because we're going to be partying at clubs all week. Tell me, where's your proof in that?
Exactly.
You know?
I don't think we're old enough to party clubs.
Yeah. He said that all the Falcons fans were going to be partying all week. They're going to think, we're the best. The 49ers are coming in. We're going to wall over them. Where's your facts? You're just going off some biased information, really. I think that's kind of stupid. That's really the only thing I've seen, though.
I'm gonna start by saying the confidence I have for this game is a little better than last week.
Exactly.
Last week going into it, I was a little worried about the read option.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson, Marshawn Lynch.
Combined for about 100 yards.
But on paper, that's a really good duo.
You would think they would have rushed for 200.
Exactly. And this game, you obviously got Colin Kaepernick and Frank Gore, two great players. But that's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about, well, not really worried about, but I think it's going to be a key factor is Vernon Davis. Last week, Zach Miller,
he tore us up.
Put some yards on us, and
I don't know how many yards he had receiving. He was well over 100. I know that.
And if we let Vernon Davis do that, this game might get a little out of control.
Yeah, and Zach Miller, nothing to take anything away from him, but Vernon Davis is a lot better with a run after the catch. And you see how we left Zach Miller wide open. If we leave Vernon Davis wide open, he's not going to catch it and go down 2 or 3 yards later.
He runs a 4-3.
He has the opportunity to make somebody miss, and our defense likes to hit, which it's great, but when you do that, you miss tackles half the time. Dante Robinson, we're talking to you. Dakud, we're talking to you. You like to hit. It doesn't always work. That's one thing that I really want to see in this game. We have to come out and we have to tackle. But Colin Kaepernick, he's had a really good start.
Second favorite quarterback.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic year. You really can't call him a rookie because he's in the second year, but really, he's a rookie.
Pretty much.
He's a rookie. He's a first-year starter. First-year starters are usually rookies. Usually, when they come in and they're starting an NFC Championship game. I don't think it's finally caught up to him yet. It's eventually going to catch up to him. And with as loud as the Georgia Dome was last weekend, imagine how loud it's going to be this Sunday.
Exactly.
It's going to be off the roofs. I heard 113 decibels.
And Mike Smith said he wanted 115.
Yeah, at 120, that's when you start having ear damage.
Yeah.
And we were 7 off that. And Russell Wilson, they play in one of the loudest stadiums there is.
Exactly.
Home of the 12th man. And Russell Wilson said after the game he struggled hearing in that game. Imagine what Colin Kaepernick's going to go through. You really think you're going to get us with a hard count? Not a chance. They're going to have false starts all game long. I don't think they will, but with a loud crowd like that, you're going to be able to hear a pin drop when we're on offense, and you're not going to be able to hear the person right next to you when we're on defense. And that is the advantage of having home field advantage.
Let me ask you something. Are you at all a little bit concerned about this great defense?
You got
Patrick Willis and Alvin Smith.
They have a great front seven, but their weakness is their secondary. The Seahawks have a way better secondary. The 49ers clearly have a better set of linebackers. And I would actually give the defensive lines a slight edge to the 49ers.
Right.
But the Seahawks have given up the fewest points all year. That is the only stat I look at on defense. Who cares how many yards you give up on defense, rushing? Who cares how many yards you give up passing? The only stat that matters is how many points you allow.
Exactly.
And you know how you hear a lot about the Falcons' defense is weak. Nobody talks about the Falcons. We heard this all last week. Seahawks thought our defense sucked. We heard that the 49ers, they think our defense sucks. We've given up the 5th fewest points in the NFL. 5th. The Seahawks are first, the 49ers second. But the 49ers, they've given up 273. We've given up 299. So that's like a one game difference. So don't say our defense is bad, because we're clearly not.
Like I said last video, we got these 3 things out of the way. We got the nervousness, the jitters, and the playoff win. Mm-hmm. And was a huge game last Sunday at home. Yeah, they came back, but we got the job done.
And Matt Ryan didn't even play at his best.
Exactly.
Clearly throwing 2 interceptions and only throwing for 250 yards.
And obviously we're capable of putting up points in the first half. I mean, we were up 20-0 in the first half.
Yeah.
But against this San Francisco better team, their passing game on defense, or pass defense, it's going to be hard to cover. You know, Roddy White, Julio Jones, and even Tony Gonzalez. That's not, you know, a deep man, but I think that their passing, their secondary is going to have a tough time around these guys.
Exactly. I don't see Tony having a very big game at all because their linebackers are that good. They have the best linebackers in the NFL, and you know the middle is going to be covered at least 85% of the game. But the key, here's my key right here, the offensive line. Because we all know they have a great defensive line and great pass rushers on their front seven. And their secondary is their weakness. So if Matt Ryan can have enough time to sit back there and throw and have a clean pocket, I see Matt Ryan putting up bigger numbers than last week. But if that offensive line doesn't come to play and we start getting beat every play and giving up sacks, I think we're in big trouble.
You know, I've heard a lot of Falcons fans this week talk about the win. I mean, it was a big win. But they also said, why did Matt Ryan keep throwing it on Sherman's side? Richard Sherman, blah, blah, blah. Because he saw something. Obviously, he saw something. He was getting beat, but he didn't throw it in time. I mean, you saw that Roddy White touchdown. Richard Sherman was getting beat that whole night. So if Roddy White can beat arguably the best cornerback in the NFL right now, think about what he can do. Like I said, that San Fran defense.
Yeah, I mean, and really, what Richard Sherman does good is he gets
in the
beat.
head.
He gets in people's heads and he can catch up and deflect the ball.
Exactly.
That was really the best performance I've seen of a corner actually catching up and deflecting a pass. You really don't see that. Like, he wasn't going for the interception, clearly just trying to bat that ball out. And he did a really good job of that. But then again, we were beating the Seahawks defense left and right. And it was a worse secondary. I'm not taking anything away from their secondary. They have they're a pretty solid core. You know, again, they're giving up the second fewest points in the NFL. But the Seahawks were only giving up 15 points. And guess who has scored the most points on the Seattle defense this year? The Falcons. The Falcons are the only team the Seahawks have played all year long that put 30-plus points up on them. And so what are we going to do to San Fran? I see at least another 30.
Listen, I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, or, you know, we beat Seahawks, now we're going to beat San Fran, blah, blah, blah. But when San Fran played Seattle last part of the year, they only scored 13 on Seattle. Seattle scored, what, 45, something like that?
I think it was 45 to 10. But I could be wrong.
It was no, it doesn't matter.
Either way, it was a whipping.
Exactly. And for a defense like Seattle, when we scored 30 points on, and they only scored 13 on, I mean, that kind of balances out. I mean, like I said, I think I'm really confident with this game.
One thing, though, that even Falcons fans, I'll get on them for saying, well, the 49ers destroyed the Seahawks in that game, and we beat the Seahawks, so we're going to beat the 49ers.
Exactly.
You can't go off that, okay? You ever heard the term, any given Sunday? Any team could win on any given Sunday. But here's the thing about the Falcons. Throw every stat out the window, the Falcons have that will to win. This just seems like it's our year. We are not, I am guaranteeing a victory Sunday. I don't see any possible way the 49ers are coming to the Dome and ruining our party. Sorry to say, 49er fans, but your season's going to end Sunday. And you're going to have a long trip, long plane ride back to San Francisco. We just have that will to win. You can see it. It's the first time I've ever seen it in the Falcons. We're not going to lose Sunday. We're not going to.
People say Michael Crabtree's going to be a huge factor. I don't think he is at all.
What has he done all year?
Exactly.
What has he done in his career? He had 2 touchdowns against a sorry Packers secondary, and both of them are really, I think, on slants.
Yep.
And you know, we don't give up slants really because we like to hit, and that's one thing that scares wide receivers is players like to hit, especially on slants.
Patrick Lewis.
So you don't see our second or teams we play run slants all that often. So I don't see Michael Crabtree being a factor whatsoever. He's a mediocre wide receiver, if that. Really, the only threat is Vernon Davis.
Key injuries. John Abraham.
Questionable.
He's questionable.
I'm confident.
I don't think it's a game time decision.
I'm confident he'll play. How long? I don't know. He played like a quarter last weekend.
I heard an interview, I think 2 days ago, and he said, yeah, the ankle hurts, but I will never miss this game.
Exactly. There's nothing you can do to hold John Abraham, because he might be in his last year.
Exactly.
He might. He hasn't said anything about retirement, but if we win the Super Bowl, you could hear him having a press conference 2 weeks later announcing his retirement, and I would be okay with that, because if he goes ahead and retires, draft a defensive end, bring him in, and we got him taken care of.
You know, the way our defense has played in the last week, and you know the week before that, I know we lost to the Tampa Bay, but the way our defense is out, Sean Witherspoon is just completely killing it right now, and William Moore being back and adding on to that great defense, you start to wonder, you know, how good we will be in the future.
And a name you haven't even mentioned in Brent Grimes.
Exactly.
I mean,
Brent
nobody
Grimes,
who.
Even though
Falcons fans forget about Brent Grimes. I actually saw him on the sideline last weekend. I was like, oh my God, there he is.
Robert McClain has stepped up this year.
Yeah, but you know, this is just going to be a fantastic game. No school Monday, so if we pull this victory out and head into New Orleans, we'll be partying all week, all 2 weeks, and our recap will be amazing.
It's gonna be fun.
If you think this opener was good, wait till we win, okay? But not to think ahead. We're not going to overlook the 49ers. 49ers are overlooking us. They're really cocky and confident right now, and they think, oh, the Atlanta Falcons, we beat them 3 times in a row, even though that really doesn't mean anything. But I think they're over.
2 years ago when Roddy had that.
They're overconfident right now. They think they're going to just roll right down in the Georgia Dome and take care of business and head into New Orleans. Well, we've got news for you. That's not going to happen.
All right, before we go,
No way.
score prediction.
Score prediction. I'm going to actually say 28-17.
I'll say 20 to 10.
20 what to 10?
20 to 10.
20 to 10. You think our defense is going to hold them to 10?
I think I don't know. I mean, like I said.
But then again, we both picked a 10-point victory.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be a 10-point spread.
Yep. No matter. I don't know what the plus or minus is going to be. You know. Whatever.
One thing that really pisses me off, though, is 76% of people in the United States have picked the 49ers to win.
And
have they not watched football all year long? But you know, that is only
bandwagons.
That is only
Colin
fuel.
Kaepernick bandwagons.
That is only fuel to our fire. And I guarantee you, any Falcons fan that sees that is nothing but a motivation.
Let me go back to a stat. Before we played Seattle, that Saturday, before the game on Sunday, I looked at the America's Choice, and America chose Seattle.
Shocker.
65%
Unbelievable.
of Americans chose Seattle. And look what we did.
Keep on
That stat, or whatever that percentage, does not matter at all.
Exactly.
It's how the Falcons play.
Keep on hating. We'll see you guys in New Orleans.
Go
Plain and
Falcons.
simple. See you next week.